the World Bank said it will end financial support for oil and gas exploration within the next 2 years as a response to the growing threat they say is posed by climate change. One dying old polar bear, and the whole thing goes straight to hell. This week is the second anniversary of the signing of the United Nations Paris Agreement on climate change. Remember that thing? That was the International Wealth Transfer Scheme that Alberta Premier Rachel Notley and Catherine McKenna signed on to, that paved the way for both provincial and federal carbon taxes. And to celebrate this week, the World Bank said it will stop all lending for oil and gas projects in the developing world after 2019. And Canada's Environment Minister, Catherine McKenna, who, of course, jet-set it over to Paris for the anniversary of the climate change fighting Paris Accord, told the media, "We are certainly pleased to see the announcement by the World Bank today." Catherine McKenna's pleased, everybody. She could not be more elated with the decision of the World Bank to kneecap Canadian oil and gas companies as they try to invest abroad. And those people in the developing world who would have benefited greatly from the development of their own natural resources through jobs, gains in personal wealth, and technological advances, and the freedom that comes with those things, well, they're just collateral damage as Catherine McKenna tries to save the polar bears from broken legs caused by climate change in August. Now this, like just about everything else the Liberal government does, coupled with their corporate tax changes, should send a bit of a chill over what's left of investment in Canada's natural resources. While it is the developing world that the World Bank will no longer provide financing for, Catherine McKenna's sheer excitement with the World Bank's announcement certainly is indicative of a pervasive attitude of the Liberal Party of Canada towards oil and gas investment. Just ask pipeline company TransCanada. They put the kibosh on Energy East because they just didn't want to put up with any more Liberal roadblocks to their nation-building pipeline project. We have Canada's Environment Minister celebrating the fact that it will now be harder for Canadian companies to get access to financing to develop resources in the third world, to hire people in the third world, to lift those people out of poverty in the third world, and use advanced Canadian technologies to make the third world's fossil fuels a little bit cleaner. Tell me again how Liberals care about poor people. Now, all of this showboating and virtue signaling from Catherine McKenna and her friends at the United Nations is just more low-level trolling of President Donald Trump. He's got a pro-coal, pro-fossil fuel, pro-sovereignty, anti-UN agenda. It's why he pulled the United States out of the Paris Accord in the first place. And the globalists at the United Nations, they just can't stand it. You see, they need the United States money. They just don't want the United States opinions and input. We saw the United Nations vote 151-6 to deny Israel's ties to Jerusalem, all because they anticipated Donald Trump recognizing Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Now this. It's childish and petty, but everything you'd expect from the socialists at the United Nations. It's how they operate. They'd sacrifice the developing world as long as it meant feeling morally superior to President Donald Trump. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunreid. Did you know that I have my own show here on The Rebel? It's called The Gun Show. It airs every Wednesday. To get access to my show and all of our amazing premium content, become a Rebel subscriber today.